Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm filming the first video I had actually remake because a couple weeks ago I posted this video of a EDNA ring. I think all of you really liked the ring, but some of you just couldn't follow, couldn't understand what was going on in the video because the beads were so dark. This is the one we did in the last tutorial. So I decided to redo the video. Unfortunately, I cannot delete the first one because that will mess up with my stats. So I will just leave a link to the new tutorial in the old version and hopefully people will figure it out. But yeah, so today I'm gonna be using my favorite blues, turquoises, because that's the best, beads to show what's going on the camera. I don't think the color combo is great. I don't know, maybe it will turn out nice, but I'm not too happy with it, but you will see what's going on. And then the signature gold 50 nose. So this is 11 Tohos, this is 4mm fire polish, and this is 50 Tohos. And I'll be using one of these spools I bought last time when I went to show, because I'm using gold. I thought, I could use the cream this time. And then you'll need scissors to cut the threads. You'll need beading needle size 10 and a sharp pick to start off your craw, or this is optional. You can start your craw the way you know how to. So thread your needle with the yard and a half, and then we'll get straight back to work. So I have my sharp pick, I have my beads ready. I decided to change the turquoise 4mm to black. I googled the color contrast and looks like black and gold should go nice with turquoise. But I don't know, I might just take it apart after the tutorial, but at least they are really contrasting colors, so you will see what I'm doing. So first we're just gonna start with normal craw. I'm gonna pick up 4 11-0s. I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna leave a short tail that I can sew in later. That's all I need it for. Just enough to thread the needle and make 1 or 2 knots on the way somewhere. Or just, thread it in. So I'm just gonna make 2 overhand knots over this 4 beads, turning it into a circle, or a square rather here. I'm gonna pull my thread nice and tight so those 4 beads stay in place. And then I'm gonna put it on the pick. Now this will be easier to build on. I use the pick, so I hold those 4 beads in place. Those 4 beads will be floor of the craw unit that we're gonna build on top of this. So that's the way, because it's really hard to hold that in your hand, only 4 beads. So that's why I use sharp picks. You can use anything you have handy, So I'm gonna go ahead and take my needle through the first bead on my way, because it has to be coming out of the bead. Right now it's just stuck in between the two. And then I'm gonna pick up 3 11-0s, go through the same bead my thread's coming out of, through the other side. Now this is going to be the first wall of our craw unit, and then I'm just gonna push it down a bit. I'm gonna take my needle through the second bead of the floor. And then I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s, take my needle down the side of the first wall we built and straight through the floor bead. And then I'm going to take my needle through the third bead of the floor, pick up 2 11-0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Then go through the last bead of the floor, this is the 4th last bead, and then up the side of the first wall. Pick up 1 bead. Wait, not bead here. Here we attach the fire polish now. So on the last side of our craw, instead of last bead, we're gonna take 1 fire polish. I'm gonna go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead and pull the thread. And then go up the side and now we have to connect the ceiling. It will look wonky because we are trying to squeeze in a huge bead in between tiny beads, but it's how it's supposed to look for now. So you want to connect all those 4 beads in between. And now I have the first unit ready. It looks wonky because one of the beads is fire polish, but that's what we need. And now here we're gonna build another unit on top of this. So I'm gonna pick up 3 11/0s, take my needle through the same bead my thread's coming out of. Go through the second bead of the floor. Pick up 2 11/0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. And then take your needle through the third bead of the floor. Pick up 2 11/0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the last bead of the floor, which is the fire polish, and up the side of the first wall. Pick up 1 fire polish, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. And pull the thread. So now we have the second fire polish in place, but we just continue on going up. And now connect the ceiling. I can just remove the pick now and just hold it in my hand. And now we have to connect all those 4 beads at the top. So I'm gonna pick up 3 11/0s, go through the same bead my thread's coming out of, go through the second bead of the floor, pick up 2 11/0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. See, we are doing just a normal crawl. Just because you changed 1 bead to a bigger bead, which is 4 mm fire polish in our case, it doesn't change the process. It's just gonna look different. And I'm gonna take my needle through the third bead of the floor, pick up 2 11/0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Then I'm gonna go through the last bead of the floor, which is the fire polish, and I can manage that, and then up the side of the first wall. Then I pick up 1 fire polish, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. And then go up and connect the ceiling. All those 4 beads at the top, 3 11/0s and the fire polish. So now I have 3 fire polish in place, and this is, like, if I compare it to my existing ring, this is where we are. So I want you to go ahead and continue adding as many fire polish as you need. You might have smaller fingers, you might have bigger fingers, so depending on that, you want to go ahead and add as many fire polish you want. I already have 3, so I think if you have really slender fingers, I would suggest to add 1 more. But if you have a thicker fingers, add 3 more. Now mine is average, so I added 5, and this is how it looks like from the top. You don't want it to make too much because it would end up going around your finger and you wouldn't be able to close your finger next to it. So, you know, just to stick to the top. Depending on your finger's thickness, you want to decide how many you want. So once you're done adding the last fire polish for your own finger, I'm gonna meet you back here. So I went ahead, added 2 more fire polish. I have 5 in total, just like my other rings. And here we are. Now if you look at it, your start and the finish look different, but you have to make it look same. So all you do is just you add 1 more crow unit, but without the fire polish. So I'm gonna pick up 3 11/0s, take my needle through the same bead my thread's coming out of, go through the second bead of the floor, pick up 2 11-0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the third bead of the floor, pick up 2 11-0s, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the fire polish, which is the last bead of the floor, and then go up the side of the first wall. And then here you just pick up 1 11-0, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. And then you go up and connect the ceiling, all those 4 beads at the top. Okay, so here we are. It will look better at the top later on because right now it looks a bit wonky, but when we embellish it with 50 no's, it will look just like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and make the band to go around your finger. So here, my thread's coming out on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and take my needle through the bottom bead. I'm gonna pick up 3 11-0s and take my needle through the same thread, through the same bead my thread's coming out of, and pull the thread. And that's right angle weave. Now you have to take your needle to the top and I'm gonna go ahead and hold down the beads with my fingers so the beads don't move when I pull my thread. Now I'm gonna go ahead and build another right angle weave unit on top of this. Take 3 beads, go through the same bead my thread's coming out of, and hold down the beads and pull the thread. Now that's the second right angle weave unit. I'm gonna flip it over and that will make it easier for me to take my needle to the top bead. I'm gonna go through the side, hold down the beads, pull the thread, and then I'm gonna go through the top bead, hold down the beads, pull the thread. And then I'm gonna pick up 3 more beads, go through the same bead my thread's coming out of, hold down the beads and pull the thread. I'm gonna flip it over, go through the side bead, hold down the beads, pull the thread. And then I have to go to the top bead, hold down the beads and pull the thread. That way you just continue adding as many right angle weave units as you need to go around your finger. Now because right angle weave is a bit loose and then you're gonna embellish it with 50 no's, the stretch you're gonna make is gonna shrink. So you wanna go ahead, you know, when you put it around your finger, whichever finger you're making it for, and you're making this stretch of raw, make sure it doesn't only touch the other side, but also overlaps. So when you embellish it with 50 no's and it shrinks, it will be the size of your finger. So if you're doing it first time this way, the band this way, you might get wrong size. But once you've been doing this type of band for some time, you kind of get it straight away. You know, you will know exactly how much more of right angle weave unit you have to add. So I'm gonna go ahead, continue all the way until I reach the other side, and I'm gonna meet you back here. So I have, I think, the required length to go around my middle finger. So if I put it around the finger, see how much it overlaps? Almost 2 full units it overlaps. That's how you want it. So we're gonna go ahead and connect it into a circle now. Now this is the tail, just don't mind it. Now this is where I am. My thread is going downwards here. I'm gonna pick up 1 11-0. So the thread is going downwards, it's just a bit wonky. I'm gonna pick up a bead. I'm gonna go upwards on this edge. And then I'm gonna pick up another bead, 11-0, and then go back down this first bead on this side. So that will connect it all into a circle. See, it also creates sort of one unit there at the end. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reinforce this one. I don't want it all to be too wonky before I start embellishing it. And here's the ring. It's gonna be too big right now when I wear it because it's not embellished. So here all we need is our 50 nose now. I'm gonna go ahead, take my needle downwards this way. See my threads coming out on the side 11 now. I'm gonna pick up 150 now. Then I'm gonna take my needle through the next one. Then I'm gonna pick up another 50 now, go through the next 11 now. 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 50 now, go through the next 11 now, which is already part of the band. And you just continue all around until you come back to the first bead, and I'm gonna meet you back here. As you can see, I made almost a full round here. I just left the last one here. I'm gonna pick up 150 now. And here I can just, you know, go through the first 11 now and then come out through the 50 now and then come out of the 11 now. And now here you want to make sure you pull your thread nice and tight. And then here you want to go to the other side. And now what I'm gonna do, see I'm coming out of the 11 now here. I'm gonna go through this 11 now on the side of it. And that will allow me now to go here. I'm gonna go through the first 11 now here. And then on this side, I can continue adding the 50 nose now. You have to make sure you are coming out of the side bead. And then I'm gonna pick up 50 now, go through the next 11 now. Pick up 50 now, go through the next 11 now. $50 now, go through the next 11 now. 50 now, go through the next 11 now. 50 now, go through the next 11 now. See, I'm already at the band here. So you just continue just like on the other side all around until you come back to the initial bead here. Now I went ahead all around and I have my last bead here. So I'm gonna go ahead, pick up one last 50 now. Go through the 11 now, 50 now, 11 now, 50 now, 11 now, 50 now. And I want to come out of this 11 now here. That's like the last one at the bottom of the focal. And pull the thread. And then when you pull your thread, pull it nice and tight. And now here, see I'm coming out. I want to pick up 150 now and go up. And when I pull my thread, I want to make sure it lies nice and straight here, nice and flat. And then I'm gonna go through the side 11 now here without adding anything. And then I'm gonna pick up 150 now, go make the corner here, go through this 11 now here. And now when you're adding 50 nose next to the fire polish, see the gaps are quite big, you pick up 250 nose. and then go through the next 11 now. 250 nose, go through the next 11 now. 250 nose, go through the next 11 now. 250 nose, go through the next. 250 nose, go through this 11 now here. And then when we are around the corner, we're gonna pick up 150 now, make the corner here, pick up 150 now, make the corner here, and then you pick up 250 nose, then go through the next 11 now. 250 nose, go through the next. 250 nose, go through the next. 250 nose, go through the next. 250 nose, go through this one here, and make that remaining corner. And then come out here to 50 now. And now basically it's done. Now, when we went upwards, when we were finishing the band, we added 150 now here, so we have to make sure we have that 50 now everywhere in the corners. Now I want to go ahead and take my needle through all these beads on my way. Where I'm heading is, I want to come out of this 11 row at the corner. That will allow me to go downwards. So here I am at the last 11 row. Without adding anything, I'm gonna head down this 11 row. And then I'm gonna pick up 150 now. And then go through this 11 row here. And then when I pull my thread, I want to make sure my bead lies flat. There. See? And now, let's say we want to make that one. So what I'm gonna do, see here my thread's coming out of the 11 row. I'm gonna go ahead and go through this side 11 row, the middle 11 row there. And pull the thread. And then I can take my needle through this 11 row here. That will allow me to add the 50 now here. I'm going to pick up 150 now and go upwards. And then when I pull my thread, I want to make sure it lies nice and flat, which it did straight away. And now I have one missing here, so that's where I have to come. So what I'm going to do here, this tail is so annoying. So what I'm going to do here, see my thread's going upwards. I'm going to go through this 11 row and the 50 now. Pull my thread, and then I'm gonna make my way all the way through these beads to the other side. Coming out of the corner 11 now. See this 11 now here, that's where I have to come out. That's it. And then without adding anything, I'm gonna make my way down through this 11 now and pull my thread. And then I'm gonna pick up 150 now and then go through this 11 now, and I can just come out straight here somewhere, doesn't matter where. That's the last 50 now, so we're basically done. So though adding those 50 nows kind of lifts up the sides of this. So it's a bit tight, even though I used the same number of beads as on the brown one, but it's fine. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the tails. Oh, did I do this for this finger? Probably. Anyways. And here my thread, I still have quite a long thread left. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not just gonna make knots here yet. I'm gonna reinforce the band. I'm just gonna take my needle all the way around, going through the all 50 rows and the 11 rows on my way without skipping any beads, because if you do, it will make that bead pop out and you don't want that. So just make sure you don't skip any beads on your way. Okay, see, it's supposed to lie flat in there. And then here I want to make sure I come out of the 11 row. That will allow me to go to the other side. So now I'm coming out of the 11 row. I'm gonna go through this middle 11 row here and pull the thread. And then here, see where it's coming out of? I can just go through the 11 row right next to it. And now I can reinforce this side. Just gonna go all around. You can reinforce as many times as you want. If you have a long thread left, don't waste it. Just reinforce your ring. You want to make sure it's gonna last. I don't really bother sometimes doing this because I just take apart my rings because I don't tend to wear them. And yeah, but if you're planning to wear it or gift it, make sure it's gonna last. And now here I want to make sure I'm coming out of the 11 row. And now it's time to make a knot. I'm just gonna make one knot, that's all I need here because I reinforced it so many times that it's quite secure. I'm gonna pick up a thread between these two 11 rows in the corner. Pull my thread, leave a small loop, take my needle through and pull it. And now I'm gonna go upwards through this 11 row. And then through the 11 row here on the side. And then here I can just go ahead and cut the thread at the very base. Now I'm gonna go ahead and thread the tail. Now when we started the crawl, we made 2 knots, so I don't think I have to make any knots with this one. So what I'm gonna do, it's stuck in between these 2 beads, so either I have to go down or this way. So I'm just gonna go through this 11 row here and through the 15 row and just go around these beads. Not far. I can just come out here, remove the needle and cut the thread. You just don't want to cut the thread right next to the knots because they will eventually come undone if you do that. So here it is. Not too shabby with the colors. Easy peasy. Yes, I probably sized it for my smaller finger here, but here it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope this one was better than the last one. I'm really sorry for the colors because I just really wanted this ring. I really love this brown with gold, so I just wanted to get it done, and I thought, I could do it in the tutorial, But yeah, I hope this explained much better, and I hope you liked the video. I hope it was instructional, and I hope you learned something new. Please subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Like the video if you did. You can share it on your Facebook, send it to your friends, and they can learn something new. And just stay tuned. There will be lots more stuff coming. I already have a lot of tutorials done, actually. I just have to upload them yet. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.